The boundless Siberian taiga, thousands of kilometers of rivers and lakes, and of course the subsoil where huge stocks of natural resources are stored. Welcome to Yugra, the energy heart of Eurasia. And it is from here that we will announce today the names of our new laureates, winners of the Global Energy Prize, which in turn celebrates this year its 20th anniversary. Our television signal is being formed by the local Yugra television network and is being transmitted by our friends in Eurasia, Asia, Africa, Latin America and other countries, including BRICS television. But first of all, a bit of a tour. For those of you who haven't been here, Yugra is a picturesque region in western Siberia where people cherish centuries-old traditions of indigenous peoples of the north and value and the knowledge as well as labor of the specialists who move here. More and more of the new locals commit their future to this region. From historical films and documentary footage, you can discover what this place looked like in the past. In the old days, even before the oil and gas fields were discovered, the most valuable goods here were the furs of wild animals, that is, pelts, as well as a variety of fish and wood. For the Hanti, Mansi and other indigenous peoples, reindeer herding was and still remains the business of life. Last year, when COVID was the major topic in the world, we visited one of the camps, together with doctors who brought Sputnik V vaccine to the reindeer herders. Even when the nearest neighbor, as the Hanti say, is 2 lakes and 1 swamp away, that is 15-20 kilometers, they preferred to protect themselves and get vaccinated. On behalf of the Global Energy Association, we also asked the head of the camp an urgent question about climate change.
Spring
begins practically in April. In the past, it used to come. True warm spring began in May. Actually, by May 20th, the geese were already arriving, and the ducks were already arriving, and the rivers were opening up.
So climate change is no nonsense. It's happening in front of our eyes.
This is serious, yes. Yes, it's happening right before our eyes.
We will talk to our scientists today about what the energy balance of the future should be like so that global warming does not become fatal. In the meantime, let us remember that when it was much colder on our planet, the Yugra land was inhabited by ancient giant mammoths, ancient elephants. For us, Yugra is also the place where Surgutneftegas is based, one of the Global Energy Association member companies and one of the largest oil and gas companies in Russia. Yugra also hosts Rosseti FGCUS, which is in charge of the electric power industry. Shortly before arriving in Khanty-Mansiysk, we spoke to the Director General of the company about the future of the association.
I think that the main function of the Global Energy Association, besides the prize, is facilitating dialogue among scientific communities and groups that work with technological innovations. The more communication there is among scientific communities, the easier it is for us to progress.
And Yugra also hosts the subdivision of another of our member companies, which is Gazprom, extraction of oil and gas. Thanks to our member companies' support, Global Energy is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year and has approached the date with record numbers. I will tell you about them soon. And it is the members of the association who provide the annual prize fund, which stands at $620,000. When we arrived in Khanty-Mansiysk, we were invited to a museum which contains exhibits that are truly symbolic for all the 3 companies members of our association. Let's have a look. Now, for example, here you can literally touch the oil. Now, this is a rather interesting sensation. And here, if you put forth some effort, you obtain light. Well, this instrument is rather elementary. However, it is a historical symbol. Now let's move further on.
And you are certainly right, these are some of very rare minerals from all over the world, but also from this area. And it is from the central hall of UGRA's Geology, Oil and Gas Museum that will be broadcasting live the ceremony where we will announce the names of this year's laureates. In fact, everything is practically ready here. I'll help the technicians with this little screen. Спасибо большое. Thank you so much indeed. Well, thanks to our partners from UGRA Media Holding, we'll be able to be broadcasting live in English, Spanish and Russian all over the world. And this is a good moment to underline something else. The Global Energy Association is certainly committed to the sustainable development goals of the United Nations. And as far as this year is concerned, we've been able to establish several very important records.
Let us compare. While in 2019 the Global Energy Cycle held 39 nominations, this year the number was grown to 119. 3 years ago we received applications from 12 countries and this year from 43. As you can see, all figures have tripled, and in addition to the traditional Western Europe, North America, Russia and China, we first had applications from Southeast Asia, namely Vietnam, Indonesia and Malaysia, from Central Asia, Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, from the Middle East and Africa, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Oman and Morocco, and from Latin America, Guatemala and Ecuador. How could it become possible? This June, our session at the St. Petersburg Economic Forum, where we discussed future energy balance, climate and environment, and presented a new edition of the annual 10 Breakthrough Ideas in Energy for the Next 10 Years report. Among the panelists, we had the Russian Deputy Prime Minister Novak, responsible for the energy sector.
We think that environmental agenda will keep its relevance. Energy safety and maintenance of energy activity of people around the world will have to be preserved by energy carriers, including hydrocarbons.
The head of Gas Exporting Countries Forum, also known as Gas OPEC, presented the international position at the session.
I recall two figures. In 1992, when the first Earth Summit was held in Rio de Janeiro, the share of hydrocarbons in the global energy mix was 81%. 3 decades later, today, the share is 80%. And it means that hydrocarbons are really crucial for the world economy, and it is also crucial for satisfying people's needs.
This January, together with our new partner Rosatom, we held a presentation in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai of Rosatom's new small nuclear power plants that are currently in demand. In the mountains, where the construction of the first pumped storage power plant in the history of the UAE is underway, we began filming a documentary about the world's hydropower. This is a joint project with another partner of ours, Rus Hydro. We continued this work in Russia in the majestic Sayano-Shushenskaya HPP. Together with a team of scientists, experiments were carried out in the ice of the Yenisei to measure the carbon footprint in the area of the station. We will tell you about the results of our film called Global Watershed that will be shown in July. After the hot Emirates and frosty Siberia, we decided to look for a hydroelectric power plant across the ocean in Latin America, and we found it. Well, here it is, the world's largest hydroelectric power plant for the time being, called Itaipu. This side is Brazil and the other side is Paraguay. Even before all those cross-border travels, on the New Year's Eve we went to St. Petersburg, where we continued our good tradition to confer honorary diplomas of the Global Energy Association on veterans of the national energy sector. This time the diploma and prize of 1 million rubles was received by academician Igor Grechov. Congratulations again. At the end of the last year, a joint report by Global Energy and the EDB, the Eurasian Development Bank, was released for the first time. It was devoted to the use of clean technologies for a sustainable future of Eurasia. The report was recognized as successful and demanded, and therefore it's an give floor to the head of the EDB.
New economy is impossible without intellectual leadership. I will be happy if, based on the results of the report, the technologies described in it are embodied into actual projects.
But let us go back to Khanty-Mansiysk, where the chairman of the International Committee of our prize, Nobel laureate Raekwe Chung from South Korea, has arrived for the first time to participate in our ceremony. Here, he visited the climate change polygon at Mukhrino, and also he went to see the core samples collection from different oil fields. Here, let us remind the audience about the prize awards procedure. It's not only that self-nomination is not possible, but in order to nominate someone, one must possess serious scientific regalia.
This year we have received a record number of applications. In total it was 119 applications from 43 countries. And we also received 10 women applications. It was for the first time in the history of Global Energy Prize. And for conventional energy sector, we received 46 applications. And for non-conventional energy, we received 40. And for new ways of energy application, we received 33 applications. And out of this 119 applications, we had an independent expert body that reviewed those applications very thoroughly.
The International Award Committee, chaired by Dr. Chung, consists of 2 dozen, as we say in the association, gurus of world energy. They met yesterday online this year and reviewed the shortlist. They could award the prize to maximum 3 and minimum 2 nominees. And now it's time to find out the resolution. So,
and this brings us to the wonderful oil and gas museum in Khanty-Mansiysk, and these are wonderful exhibits that we see here, oil, and you can see how it splashes there, and the minerals. And first of all, I would like to welcome and thank the governor of Autonomous District Yugra, Natalia Vladimirovna Komarova, and we have Rakwon Chung here, Nobel laureate and chairman of our international committee, an independent body that makes a decision about whom to give the award. Mr. Byung, William Byung from Singapore, and in the front row here, Dmitry Besarabov, our countrymate, who is a member of the International Committee, and he represents South African Republic, where he worked. And Natalia Vladimirovna, over to you. A year ago, here in Khanty-Mansiysk, we decided that the laureates this year will be announced here, and it happened. Thank you very much. Well, in my turn, on our behalf, I would like to welcome you, dear Mr. Chairman and President of the Association. I welcome members of the International Committee of the Global Energy Prize, and I welcome you here in the Khanty-Mansiysk Autonomous Okrug Yugra, the energy heart of Russia. And what's also important to say is that our region is among top 5 forest regions of Russia, and it accounts for 5% of global production and 41% of Russian production of oil. And I'm saying this in order to emphasize our responsibility. Would you realize our responsibility in front of the world for the environment? So it is our key. And in conclusion of my short welcoming word, I would like to express hope that our land of taiga, that you have enjoyed it, dear guests, that you have not been disappointed. You're always welcome here, and you're always welcome here to work and to cooperate with our businesses. Thank you. Thank you. That when you talked about guests, you look that way, not my way, because I'm partially local already.
Now, you presided over the International Committee's little get-together the other day, and you could, according to the rules, have chosen either 2 or 3 winners. How many have you chosen?
Yeah, this year we were lucky to come up with the nominations from all 3 categories, and so we have 3 nominations, and we had such a good list of candidates, and it took more than 2 hours. We had a very intense and very tough discussions to make a decision, which shows that the high quality and the integrity of the shortlist candidates, and we came out with 3 nominations this year.
Lovely. So let us start then with the conventional shortlist, and let's have a look at it.
Conventional energy nomination. Ron Shu Yuan Hui, Singapore, electric power industry. For contributions to theoretical advancements and inventions of planar wireless charging technology for electronic and mobile devices and products. Praveen Jain, Canada, electric power industry. For groundbreaking concepts in power electronics designs and innovations in applications impacting the efficient generation, transmission, and utilization of electric power. Viktor Orlov, Russia, nuclear energy. For fundamental research concerning development of the innovative energy technology based on the fast reactors with a heavy metal coolant and the closed fuel cycle. Irina Tajibaeva, Kazakhstan, nuclear energy. For contribution to the scientific support, development and creation of Kazakhstan tokamak for material research. Ruben Chaer, Uruguay, electric power industry. For the development of SIMSEI model, simulation of electric power systems, energy planning in Latin American countries, and contribution in Uruguayan energy transition.
Just to let you know, first a long list is created and every candidate is reviewed by 3 technical experts. They create these final 5, and out of these 5 the international committee chooses the laureate.
In the conventional energy nominations, the winner is Viktor Orlov from Russia.
Ура!
Orlov is from Moscow. He is 92 years old, but despite this age, he continues to work actively, and his name is associated with the atomic industry, and he was in charge of development and the startup of the fast neutrons reactor at the industrial scale. Let's try to contact Viktor Vladimirovich if we have this technical capability. Please, Viktor Vladimirovich, we see you. Our congratulations. Thank you, dear comrades. Thank you for such a high assessment of my work. I would also like to thank those who nominated me for this award, and those who I don't even know personally still. And I would like to thank those engineers with whom I've graduated from the Faculty of Physics in Moscow State University, and when we was working in the closed city of Obninsk at the nuclear facility. I would like to thank those colleagues who taught me how to understand those technical problems without which it would be impossible to work in. I'm grateful to the institute and it's in the research institute, and it's hard for me to name them all. Engineers, process engineers, design engineers with whom. And I would also like to thank my grandson, Misha, who after graduation from the Department of Physics and the postgraduate, he came to work with us, and he started working with calculations for the reactor, which I was designing, and he did a lot of important work, so my special thanks go to him. Thank you, and we wait for you and your grandson at the award ceremony, which will take place in autumn. And I would like to clarify that these 39 millions, according to the decision of the committee, will be shared equally between today's laureates.
William, Mr. Bune, now that you are here, you are known as an innovator, as someone who tries to preserve the environment, preserve the climate from catastrophic changes. Now, we are, of course, a scientific prize, but we live in the real world. And in the real world, in this last several months, many countries have been ignoring their CO2 emissions obligations. They burn coal, for God's sake. Where are we?
It's a difficult situation, but historically it's always been that every time there's been difficulties in socioeconomic factors or conditions, usually renewable energy or climate change initiatives tend to be put to the side or postponed. And if anything, that shows that there should be more of an emphasis and stress on technological and scientific innovation in order to make sure that renewable initiatives, as they take place, are more robust.
Well, one of the solutions is, of course, the non-conventional energy then. Let's have a look at the short list presented this year.
Non-conventional energy nomination. Mercury Canatsidis, USA. Renewable energy. For breakthroughs in the field of solar energy conversion using the new halide perovskites. Bahim Singh, India. Renewable energy. For advancement in the field of renewable energy-based systems, development of low-cost, energy-efficient solar photovoltaic fed water pumping systems for rural areas, development of energy-efficient ceiling fan motor to reduce power consumption. Chan Jo Shu, Taiwan, China. Bioenergetics. For fundamental research and development of microalgal technology, as well as biofuels and biorefinery. Gregory Stephanopoulos, USA. Renewable energy. For the invention and development of a technology for converting gases to liquid fuels. Pavel Bezrukih, Russia. Renewable energy. For research in the field of scientific fundamentals and efficiency of renewable energy sources in Russia, development of federal programs.
May I stress the point that at the Global Energy Association, we're just humble operators of the prize, but we are certainly happy that the long list was so geographically spread that we actually have so many regions represented, including the developing world. Well, that said, William, what was the decision of the International Committee as far as this five is concerned?
For the category of non-conventional energy, the winner in this category is Mercury Canatsidis from the USA.
Mercury Canatsidis was born in Lade, Greece. His alma mater is Aristotle University in Saloniki, and he published more than 1,500 research work and patented, and he is also a mentor. More than 100 doctors that he was advisor to, and well, let's try, despite the time difference, and here we're in the depth of Russia, the time difference is even bigger, so let's try to contact the US.
Oh, here you are. Dr. Canatsidis, congratulations.
Hello, hello everyone. Good morning over there. Good afternoon now. It's 3 a.m. Here in the US. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm from Northwestern University, and I'm very excited to win this award. I'm thrilled to receive the Global Energy Prize, and I'm very proud to have been nominated for it. It's really incredible to be recognized. My team's effort at Northwestern University in developing perovskite, halide perovskite materials 10 years ago and for solar energy applications. And it's incredible what has happened in this field. We never in our wildest dreams 10 years ago imagined that it would grow so much and it would have such a big impact. And is now a lot of companies have been spun off, and many panels, solar energy panels, are being tested in the fields. Tremendous progress has been made in this area for photovoltaics. Normally it takes 30, 40 years, and in perovskites it took about 5 to 10. And so this is a revolution both in science and in technology. We're very excited about that. I want to thank my students and collaborators for their efforts, and my colleagues for their support, for those who nominated me, and for this committee who have selected me. I'm grateful to you for choosing me to receive this Global Energy Prize today. This is simply one of the most important.
Thank you so much indeed, sir. And well, you said receive. You will receive it later, but today, of course, your name has been announced. Thank you so much indeed, again and again. See you soon.
So we had now contacted our second laureate. Now would like to talk to our Dmitry Besarabov, member of the International Award Committee. Dmitry, you represent the Center of Hydrogen Strategy, and last year the same ceremony was in Kazan, where the laureates were announced. And yes, we take the ceremony to Kaluga, Kazan, Khanty-Mansiysk, and it's not clear where do we go next from Khanty-Mansiysk. So we discussed hydrogen of different color. If you know, there is blue hydrogen, there is yellow hydrogen, and there's green hydrogen produced with renewable sources. So again, the events which has taken place recently show that we need to place hydrogen somewhere on this new map of new sources of energy. So what color of hydrogen and where does hydrogen should go? Should hydrogen go? Well, Sergey, I think that splitting hydrogen into colors is rather subjective and thing, and from the point of view of the today's situation in energy, really, I think that the place of hydrogen hasn't changed. That's this technology has always been the domain of prospects and research. It has never had the immediate application in large scale, especially if we talk about replacing the existing energy sources. So it is true that today we witness that we talk more and more about green hydrogen, which is produced using electrolysis of water and using renewable energy sources, but again, it has never been about immediate replacement. And we also see the so-called transition energy period, and this period has just started, and many governments in many countries, they have confirmed their intention to be part of that transition, and many large companies, petrochemical energy companies, steel-making companies, they have also confirmed the intent to adopt hydrogen in their manufacturing cycle, their production cycle, but that has never been something that would expect to give immediate results. And of course, researchers, scientists and engineers, they are working to reduce the cost of electrolytic hydrogen, but at least two things are completely unresolved so far in order for this technological solution to be applicable in the nearest future. So let's look at the short list from the New Ways of Energy Application nomination.
New Ways of Energy Application nomination. Patrice Simon, France. Efficient energy storage. For his pioneer work on capacitive energy storage, which has shaped the field. Amit Goel, USA. New materials used in modern energy engineering. For contribution to high-temperature superconductivity, discoveries and inventions to fabricate long lengths of high-performance superconducting wire for all large-scale energy-related applications of HTS. Kaushik Rajashekara, USA. Energy transportation. for outstanding contributions to transportation electrification and technologies for improving energy efficiency with reduced emissions for power generation. Chunshan Song, China. New materials used in modern energy engineering. For innovative and pioneering contributions to adsorptive and catalytic processing of carbon dioxide and hydrocarbon fuels. David Liu, Singapore. New materials used in modern energy engineering. For the design and synthesis of nanostructured materials.
назвала себя обывателем, но обывателем с большим административным опытом, потому что я на правах.
And definitely Vladimir has a plethora of administrative experience, and being a moderator, I wanted to hand her the envelope for her to open it and to name the laureate, and then I started panicking because I didn't see where the envelope, but now I see that the envelope is already in the hands of Natalia Vladimirovna Komarova. Yes, I've been preparing myself. I saw the panic in your eyes, that's why I lifted the envelope in advance to make sure it's in my hands. So I have it, I'm ready. Attention. So, Kaushik Rajam Shikara. And he was born in India, as you have guessed, but he worked in Europe, Switzerland, Canada, and the United States. He is Professor Emeritus, honored professor, and let's try to contact the guest.
Yes. Hello, sir. We can see you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for selecting me for this very prestigious prize, which is one of the biggest in the world. I'm here in Houston. It is early morning, 2:30 a.m., the energy capital of the world. And I'm very thankful to the committee for selecting me for this prize. And also, I'm thankful to the nominator, to my family, and all my past and present students and colleagues in ABB, General Motors and Delphi, Rolls-Royce, UT Dallas, and presently at University of Houston. When I received this email about the selection, I couldn't believe it for a moment that I'm selected for such a prestigious prize. This award definitely shows the importance of energy efficiency improvement and reducing emissions, particularly in the area of transportation, which is responsible for significant portion of global emissions. So this award also encourages more researchers and companies to further advance the technologies in the area of transportation electrification. When I say flying cars 15 years ago, then people were telling, oh, it was a joke. Now, there are more than 100 companies working on flying cars, and there is a lot of work going on the electric aircrafts. So the transportation technology is advancing, and it is very important to further advance this technology to reduce the emissions and improve the environment.
Thank you so much indeed, sir. Thank you.
We are in a very interesting region where several plots come together. So hydrocarbons are in demand, that's for sure, no doubt here. And the same is true is the fact that the climate is changing. And for the first time I encountered that is with the peoples who live at the border of Norway and Russia. And who saw the reindeer herders who saw the climate change, and we saw it in the video. And for us, warmth is pleasant, but what's happening there in the north is that rivers don't freeze in time, and they can't drive the herd of the deer across the rivers, and it's a catastrophe for those who are herders. And I would like to get back to Dr. Chung, who is Nobel Prize laureate, with a question: how can we help such people as reindeer herders in here, Khanty-Mansiysk, and the extreme north? taking them as a specific example, that if there is a abrupt, sudden transition to alternative energy sources, well, it doesn't work, so what to do?
I think it is not an easy question, a very difficult question, but my visit to Mukrino field station at the polygon gives me some kind of very interesting impression that this region of Yugra is a region of very interesting paradox. Paradox means that this region is producing a lot of oil and gas, so supplying the hydrocarbon to the world. But at the same time, this is a region, or the taiga region, where the impact of climate change is the highest in the world. I heard from the polygon field station, the temperature rise was 4 degrees. 4 degrees is 4 times higher than global average. Global average is only 1.09 degree. So the impact of climate change is highest in this region where the oil and gas is being produced. So it is a kind of paradox, the regional paradox. But at the same time, I saw that this is a region of a very impressive contrast, which means that even though this region, as the governor has mentioned, is endowed with hydrocarbon production, but at the same time, this region is also endowed with not only hydrocarbon, but also renewable energy, such as solar and wind, and also water, a lot of water. So this region is capable of generating not only just the conventional hydrocarbon fossil fuel energy, but at the same time, this region has a huge potential for renewable energy for the future. So it is a kind of a very interesting contrast. So I think it is our decision to make which way we should go. So the future will depend on us. The decision we are making today will make an impact for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much indeed, sir. Мы вчера вместе ездили в Мухрино. Я-то вообще самый счастливый. Я грибник.
Yesterday, we went to Mukhrino together. I am the happiest person, I guess. I like picking up mushrooms, walking in forest, picking up mushrooms, and now I can just bring my bag and pick up mushrooms wherever I like, because I'm not afraid of mosquitoes. On a Saturday or on a Saturday, when on TV, I'll tell more about Mukhrino, but as you see here, we're all equipped, and you've recently seen a brave girl, and she is just walking there, not afraid of anything, and mosquitoes don't bite her. I guess she's a special one, and her name is Nina Filipova. She's in charge of a youth molecular bio lab in Yugra State University, and we came to visit her yesterday, and today she's here, and on behalf of Global Energy, she would like to award you with a special letter of thank you. Elena Lapshina, unfortunately, couldn't be here because she is currently at the north of Yamal-Nenets Okrug, discovering unknown swamps, but I was also present and observing how that developed from a scratch, from being just a small house in the swamp to a full-fledged research station with modern equipment which helps monitor the condition of ecosystems and include those data into the program of national and international level. So we'll continue that work. Thank you. And in the close of our ceremony, we'd like to thank the members of our associations, first of all, that's Gazprom and Rosseti, and it's very nice for me to say these words in the lands of Yugra, and that's Surgutneftegaz, and we thank our International Work Committee, and we thank all our guests, we thank our hospitable hosts, the Yugra, and we thank Rosneft that supported our today's event. And the awards will be physically handed over during the Russian Energy Week in Moscow, which will take place in the end of the year. So all the best, and we'll see you in Moscow. Thank you.